Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to part 4 of my epic build. When we left off last time, I'd finished building the tower but still wasn't happy with the roof, so swapped that out, slimmed it down a bit and redone it entirely. But this time, I want to concentrate on building an area for people to come and live. For people to move into our new city that they can now find. So, I want to take this flat area over here next to the bridge and make it into something more habitable. Maybe some tiered areas, a couple of houses, maybe even a communal garden area. So, without further ado, let us commence building. We begin this build by taking one of the areas, squaring it off a little bit and evening out the level. Picking one level of which to decide to start to build on. And then take away all the excess dirt and rock and so on and so forth. I start to mark out the area within which I want to build. I also decide that I want to have a little bit jutting out over the edge of the mountain, but as you can see, quickly decide that this isn't practical. So I go forward with the original idea that I had and start filling it in with dirt. Once all that is filled in, I just pop in a support on the bottom corner, as you can see here, that really splays out at the bottom, really digging into the side of the cliff. I then at this point realise there's no actual access from the bridge down to the living area that I'm making, so I carve and fill in some areas, some tiered areas, to then add some staircases in afterwards so you can actually get access to the living area. Now that we actually have access down to the first residential area of the city, I start to build out the foundations of the buildings, trying to work out how many I can fit in, whether I'm going to have to rotate them or indeed create more area to build houses within. I also start adding in some of the paths, giving me an idea of how exactly I want this to set out, how I want it to look, and if indeed I'm going to have area left over to make a small garden or communal greenery area of some sort. At this point I realise I'm not going to be able to get a third house in, and I was quite annoyed at the time, so I actually create a raised area and extend it back into the mountain a little bit, giving me an extra tier, a nice raised area and an extra level to the whole thing, which in the long run I really do like. Right now, behind here, what you can't see, yet again to my expert camera work, is me searching for inspiration. I really do have no clue at this time what I want to make the buildings feel like. So to create a nice area, I create a small garden area, hopefully to draw some inspiration and inspire me into how I'm going to make these buildings look. Full of inspiration from the communal area I just created, I start work on the first of the 3 houses. I put down 4 wooden pillars to support the corners of the house and fill in the body of the house using grey wool. I add a second floor jutting out to the left slightly to give the house more character, more of an original shape. I then pop a roof on top using the same materials as the rest of the city. For the second house, I wanted to use a similar design to the first, making them look like they were built by the same people in the same area of the city and they belong together. This time though, I got the building to jut out at the front, giving it an original character again. For the third and final building, I used a similar design as the other two, but this time making it a single story building with the luxury of having a little bit of land at the back as their own personal garden. So here we have it, our first residential area with a small community garden. I really have enjoyed building this area and I hope you like it. So, until next time ladies and gentlemen, goodbye!